Sikuyanade Bal Ularam, or hello everyone and welcome. A Wolf's Den Games is proud to present Tavernhall Tuesdays with your host, Garoyalor Kier.
I am your sword and your shield. I am your sword and your shield.
I don't know how I missed that. My apologies, folks. Apparently that little quick key did not turn my mic on like it was supposed to. I'll need to double check that. We do, however, have sound now. And I know that the announcement went through because I'd forgotten to mute uh, the other bit there. Let's see. We've got 1,205 gold. I know it takes more than that to be able to furnish the house properly, but maybe we can get another set of furnishings ordered at least. Maybe. And then we can go start checking a few other places and see if we can get some more things for the other house figured out and completed.
Honor to you, my Thane. Of course. What room would you like me to furnish?
I don't quite have enough. We have 1,200 something. So now time to start kind of wandering Skyrim and seeing what we have available. I'm going to check back here real quick. Figure the kitchen would be the next one to furnish. But first, we'll jump down here and take a look at things real quick. I'll leave those there for now. Actually, I think we've got some more we can drop in. Oh. Okay. That adds to our hatchery there. We've got the ocean out here. Let's check the map. What do we have opened up around us here? If we turn to the right and start heading that way, that was a nice shot. For the most part, we're just kind of wandering around, exploring, taking time to chat with folks, get things together in order to be able to get some more of the construction built on the various... Hey, Swift, how you doing? Welcome. There's a bunch of stuff apparently I have not gotten marked off. Ustengrav is over there, I believe. Hope you're having a good day there, Swift. I'm still mostly just wandering. Is that burned out shack I had found? It's always interesting when they have the... Well, we do appreciate it. We were going to run something earlier, but we were kind of waiting on some news on whether or not company was going to be coming by, and then it got to be a bit late, and it was like, well, we still kind of need to get our stream in here.
You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
Dagnabbit. Well, that was a bit better. Yeah, I figured we really needed to get the time in, if only because, well, people seem more willing to come over to the channels where things tend to be a bit regular. We're trying to get our scheduling as regular as possible. Um, I did mean to ask, however, if... Aw, that's terrible. Yeah, I'm just using the basic Steam one. Technically, we have the very special edition, but this one, this laptop will not play the special edition, let alone stream it. And I'm not exactly sure why, but okay, that's marked off. But I figure as long as I can still play this one, I'm happy. Did you happen to find any of those Myth Inc. books? Just curious. Yeah, that's probably true. I think I was listening to Myth 7 last night. Something like that. Just kind of randomly getting things marked off if they aren't marked yet. Just because, I mean, there's still a lot of the map we haven't touched. I mean, I know somewhere over there's a giant camp and things like that. But I figure best bet would be to head for the ones that show up first. Okay, if my sneak just increased, that means there's something to sneak past. I hope there aren't any more wolves up here. Well, I know that I enjoy being able to just kind of wander around and spend time talking to people while also having a little fun and having something playable that people tend to enjoy, because then that gives us some common ground to start with. I'm heading for the mine first because, well, we need all the ore we can get for house construction. That's one of the downsides to it, to not just sitting here and putting in the code and giving myself all the iron that I need, which I could do, but I don't know, I find it more fun to just kind of wander around and see what I run into. Because sometimes you run across things that are just out here for no reason. Like that cart just sitting there. This is nothing on a map or anything, as far as I can tell. I walked that close and they didn't see me. Uh-oh. That was bad. Let's add that to it. Let's get a little of that. We'll poison the bow. And then we'll heal up a bit. 'cause ouch.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Uh-oh. That was really close. Yes, Elder Scrolls Online, I have not so far. Um, yeah, yeah, I had noticed that. I mean, technically, I could just give myself a ton of money. But again, I'd rather wander around and find some cool stuff as we go rather than just take it. Oh, no, I gotta have that dagger. Well, thank you. I mean, even when I had other games that I was playing and I had access to certain cheat codes and all of that, I'd rather at least play through once naturally, just as is. Because then I get a better understanding of how the game works and that sort of thing. If it's one of those kind of things where I just want to have a little bit of fun and screw around for a while, then I might throw some codes in, but that alters the way I tend to view the game as well. So that when I've got, for example, one of my favorites for that would be American McGee's Alice. Because as much as I love the game and the way, the mechanics of it and the creepiness of it, it's such an amazingly well. Yeah. For the most part, I know that with Alice, there are some missions where it's just like, you know what? I want to get past this one part because it just takes forever otherwise. But other than that, I try to keep everything as straight as possible, regardless of the regardless of the game or what cheat codes might be available. I know that with Alice, there are times where sometimes there's a certain weapon that I particularly enjoy using, and I might throw one of those in just for the sheer nonsense of it. It's this little jack-in-the-box thing that you throw out. It pops up, spins around, spits fire, and then explodes. And sometimes it's just like, you know what? This is kind of funny, so I'm going to toss one of these out here. One of those crazy kind of things. Yeah. I mean, isn't that kind of the point of a game? To just have fun. And that's why, I don't know, some games I've lost enjoyment of because of the fact that it's there's just so much that's been kind of added to it in order to water it down or innovate for innovation's sake when it's not really needed, kind of thing. I did try out the Wet Dogs deck from the Magic stream the last week, and it worked all right. I just, I am not one of those who is happy grinding through everything. Um, yeah, there are some cool cards and stuff. Yeah, when you get squashed flat like that, which unfortunately Magic tends to be one all of that to one side or the other. At least nowadays. So much overpowered crap. But I had ended up playing through the Mastery Circle doohickey. For something or other. That I can drop. I don't really need that. Keeping that in case we need the enchantment on it. That's enough weight. But I had gone through and gotten past that whole mastery tier track or whatever. But after I got to the whole 5 decks thing, for some weird reason, there weren't 5 decks added to my thing for it. Hey, I can just take it. It's not stealing. Works for me. So I have some additional cards, so I could always go back through and adjust the deck a bit, because we now have 4 of the wolf pups. We have 4 of that enchantment that gives you another wolf. So there's some interesting things involved there. Okay, that was that. Now I can go this way toward the cave. Yeah, I thought it was weird too. Maybe I just wasn't seeing them correctly. Because I know I got the decks from... Oh, cool. Well, maybe they're just lagging. I don't know. I'm still kind of wondering how they're going to work things regarding when the sets rotate for standard. Will I still be able to use the cards that I have against friends or in some sort of casual play? Or is it just, hey, I've got this card in my collection that I can just never use again? And if it's the latter, well, I'm sorry, Watsy, but you've guaranteed I'll probably stop paying, or stop playing completely for it. I have no interest in grinding my way up the mastery tiers, because hours of losses for the few wins here and there, just I have no fun with that. I'd been playing Monday, and I was just like, okay, we've been playing an hour, and I've gotten 1 win out of this. And all the other ones were just kind of people dragging out the obvious win. It's like, I'm looking for a card, I want to get that out before I finish you off, so I'm just going to waste a bunch of time. And I have no interest in that whatsoever. Well, we found the Dim Hollow Crypt. Looks like we've got another shout available up here. Some Corundum ore we can pick up. I hope we'll always be able to use the cards that we have, because otherwise I have even less reason to play any of the Magic games. Uh, yeah. I mean, I couldn't afford to spend money on Magic the Gathering regardless. It is just too expensive to try and keep up with it. Really? What do I have here that I really don't need? Those can go. Oh yeah, if you haven't been in for some of the previous runs, we adopted another daughter recently. Nice. They kept matching me up against like serious competitive players, and I was like, okay, so since you're just not gonna let me put a card out, I'm just not gonna bother playing anymore. And ended up quitting after the day. Yep. Picked up another one from Windhelm? I think it was Windhelm. Trying to get to that standing stone there. I don't think I have ever actually found all 13 of these. They're bandits? Whoops. I just fell off the standing stone. Yeah. I should have gone more for the head. Biggest issue I've been having as far as that is, I've been trying to aim for the head sometimes and end up shooting over their head, which kind of sucks. Ooh, more ore. Well, it's a good thing I looked over there then. There's one. A lot of the basic stuff I tend to skip, because a lot of those are just not really worth picking up. They're so common. I have not started the Assassin's Guild quest yet. We have started the Thieves Guild. That's the armor I'm using now, except I'm using the Croesus Dragon Priest mask because we took Croesus out because we found him on accident. Yes, accident. I've done the Assassin's quest before. I just haven't gotten over there to deal with the kid in Windhelm just yet. I have found the abandoned shack that is kind of that start of the Thieves Guild. It's near our second homestead. So I thought it was funny that I found the shack that you end up having to go to, but I haven't started that quest yet, and it wouldn't let me open the door because it requires a key. Doesn't even give you the option of picking the lock to get in. So I'm like, we'll get to that. We just haven't gotten there yet. Dag nabbit. Okay, I need to charge that bow and quick. Whoops. Yeah, that was the entire reason why I started doing the Thieves Quest. Because I want that Nightingale armor. Where? There it is. Where'd you go? Finally. That was a little annoying. Yeah, I love the Nightingale armor. Before I had... When I had been running one of the, well, technically cheated games, I'd given myself stuff to build the houses, and some things you can't get, though, like the goat horns. For some reason, those codes just would not work. But I ended up giving myself an extra set of Nightingale armor just so that I could display it. Actually, I think I gave myself 3 extra sets. Ooh, I could get a Daedra heart here. But I want that shout first. If I can get there. I love that you can just climb the mountains on Skyrim. Yeah, I love the Nightingale armor. The look of it is just gorgeous. Ooh. I'm taking them. I will worry about the weight later. Okay, there are some whites here. I can't drop the books. That can go. Trying to figure out what all I can honestly give up here. Even that wasn't enough. Okay. Nope. We need Dave and Buster. I need to enchant that. Really? Yay! I think I'm like on oh, whoops. Hang on. I can do that. Oh, cool. It did pop up. Well, it kind of popped up, but probably only for me. 1 second. I'm surprised those wisps haven't spotted me yet. There's the permit. There you go. See if I can grab the potion and get out of here without them spotting me. That's funny as hell. Then I'll creep down the mountain. I'll take a look first chance I get. Of course, if you use ebony ingots, you can act, and you have the right perk, you can upgrade your Nightingale armor as well. And that's just plain. I know that I had gotten mine up to some really nice levels. Almost legendary, I think. Let's just get this marked and try and get out of here alive. I mean, apparently I've got like Vax level sneak here. When I can sneak up on... Oh, and I'm stuck. Tell me I'm not actually stuck. Huh. That would have sucked. We found Labyrinthian. We found Lost Valkeag. I can't believe we pulled that off. That was a little scary. Let's see. I want to jump back to Stone Hills, because... Wow. I will definitely check it out. Oh, there are enemies nearby. So now I actually have to sneak my way out. It's okay, we can do that. This place is huge. Is that another chest? Either way, I mean, I tend to keep chat open. Oh, crap. Good thing their weakness is fire. That was nice and quick. Let's see if we can get out of here without drawing the attention of any more. You're welcome to send it in whispers. I could get it there or here, either way. I know that the other night I had gone into the other room to get a couple of things done after a stream, and one of my players for D&D had some questions, and it prevented me from getting back to the game or back to my computer quite as quickly as I'd intended. But I do try and have at least one of us tries to be in chat as much as possible, as long as we're not, you know, asleep. If I had realized that I was going to get sidetracked like that, I would have had my phone with me so I could have kept track, or kept an eye on chat after the stream. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I missed! I had that. Well, I better go pick up my arrow. Let's see. Should have been right here, shouldn't it? It's all stuck in the ice. Well, we do what we can, and we try and make sure that we're here as much as possible to help people out. Oh, that's right, I had to drop the pickaxe. Dagnabbit. Okay, so where is this in comparison to... What's my next nearest? That's right in the middle, nothing in it. Okay. East of Morthal. Time to jump back to Winstead, drop some stuff off, pick up another pickaxe, and try and find that iron again. Keep forgetting exactly how to do some of that. What the... Really? On my... the steps of my own house? And those guys are after my horse. Coming at me in my own house. Whoops. Y'all can sit naked out here then. I was like, huh, where'd that arrow come from? Frickin' people. We did end up getting picked up, well, hosted for at least a little bit, a couple of nights ago, which surprised the crap out of me. Sitting here playing, I think it was Borderlands maybe, it might have been Skyrim. And out of the blue, hey, we finally have all our furniture here. Took it long enough. No, I'm not exactly sure who it was. CHOZRO, I think was the name that had popped up. It was kind of odd because I looked up and next thing I know, I'm like, wait a second. There's 49 people in here. Just to get these out of inventory to save time and effort. Dagger, dagger, dagger. Gotta have them daggers. Let's talk to you real quick. We'll get the kitchen done next.
Very good. I'll make all the arrangements.
There we go.
Certainly. What did you have in mind?
I'm not sure how much we have left.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid you're a bit short of funds at the moment.
That's not a worry at all. This will be the kitchen. So we'll give that like a few days for that to pop up. Well, a few in-game days. We did start getting things built down in this basement because that's not one of the rooms that he can help you furnish. So we'll grab those real quick. We'll see what else we can finish down here before we head back upstairs. Because most of this construction stuff is now going to need to go elsewhere. It's okay. We have our horse. We can jump on the horse and jump back to the other house to drop off all this construction stuff. Because again, oh, looks like I'm going to have to do the upstairs too. And I'm backing up the stairs because sometimes they make it a pain in the butt. Yep. We'll come back to all that. I'm not going to focus on that one just yet. Because the other house is almost completely done already. Apparently there's some additional stuff that can be added here. Or it's just not been delivered yet. And then after this, we've got a third homestead to purchase and build with the final layout design. This one here is the kitchen, the greenhouse, and the trophy room, I believe. Could be wrong on the trophy room. But if you'll notice, it's got a very distinct traditional appearance, especially compared to the other house. Where did my horse go? No problem. I mean, I can completely understand that. Did they kill my horse? Where's my horse? My horse was amazing. He'd been over here and was fighting the bandits for me. And now I can't seem to find my horse. And I don't see a body, so I'd assume he didn't die. Okay, I'm gonna have to drop these construction materials off over here then. And I still have to find a pickaxe real quick. I know that we try to go every day, so... Well, thank you. I know that we do our best to try and at least be entertaining and try and help promote the same support and community that Critical Role does. Oh, I probably should have dropped off that drum, as the only reason I'm picking up the instruments is for Scanlan. Well, thank you. I know that we try to get the word out as best we can, and we're still working on trying to find the best time frames to schedule things, which can be a little difficult because there are some channels we just don't want to step on their streams, but we also want to be able to have our time out here with folks, if only to get more ideas for more of the kinds of games people want to play and what kinds of things they enjoy playing as when they were kids or with their friends, that kind of thing. Okay, now I can try and find my horse. Assuming it's still alive. Ooh, torch bugs. I know that wifey is hoping on planning on picking up some, or trying to get a hold of Borderlands 1, the pre-sequel, and 2 on Steam for her account so that we could play together for that. Risk would be awesome. Especially if it's like a variation on traditional Risk, the way they did with Lord of the Rings and some of the other Risk variations out there. Personally, I was a huge fan of which one was it? There's a pickaxe. Now we jump to Morthal to go find that other iron real quick. I was a huge fan of Axis and Allies. Though I would annoy people. I'd play Germany, blitz through Africa, and before they knew it, I'd taken the entire continent and was on my way to building factories in South America to take out the U.S. while dealing with the Eastern fronts. Yeah, my tactics were a little crazy. Okay, we want to head east-ish in order to find that iron. And then, let's see. We're also working on upgrading things here so that we can actually start streaming actual tabletop. Which, I have to be honest, I miss Will Wheaton's show. In fact, if it wasn't for that show, I never would have gotten around to playing a lot of the board games that I've since played and learned about. And Ticket to Ride is a lot of fun. I lost it. Wait, where's the... Okay, so it's kind of this direction-ish. Ticket to Ride is a lot of fun. The Flux games are awesome. Yeah, I had a pretty amazing history teacher in junior high that I liked a lot. My high school history teacher... Well, I did have a favorite high school history teacher as well, but that was... he was also my German teacher, which for some weird reason, despite all the German I had taken, I don't remember a whole lot of it, unfortunately. Okay, if I remember correctly, it was up here in the snow somewhere. Funny how I'm looking for just some random spot of iron ore at the moment. Oh, there's some ore. So I'm going to assume that there's some more up on this little bit of rock here. Wow, we've been running almost an hour. And then tonight over on Critical Role, instead of Talks Machina, they're showing the panel from San Diego Comic-Con, or during talks. I'm not sure. It's one of the two. I know I would love to kind of find out what Travis and Brian, well, what Foster thinks of us stealing cabbages in his name. But as I've mentioned before, Brian W. Foster, if you're watching this, the heck are you doing watching us? I think the only time I've lost on Axis and Allies is probably the very first game I played. And that was before I had any understanding of the game or quite how everything worked. Oh. Wait, where'd it go? There it is. Got it. Got it. I was hoping for goat horns. Let's see. Of course, I'm also kind of curious what they would think of Wifey and I playing Broforce. 'Cause I don't know, it's weird. We play Call of Duty and stuff, and we don't even need to talk to each other. We just automatically kind of know what the other person is going to do. It's like we've been training together forever, and yet until recently I'd never even played Call of Duty. Wolves Den Games challenging Yeehaw Game Ranch to Call of Duty. That would be a trip. Oh, that is awesome. I would love to have gotten involved in something like that. That's incredible. I've not really done a whole lot as far as that kind of thing. I think I did do a mock United Nations thing once. But I think that's the closest I'd ever gotten. I have no idea what's up here, but I figure why not? Could be interesting. Looks like some kind of ruin that isn't marked there. Don't want to fall off a mountain here. That would suck. Wow. Speaking of, that's one of the other things we've been looking into upgrading a bit. Our mic, I'm sure, is not the best, but the, uh, when people are using spies, the best way to deal with it is misinformation. And then you also know who's doing the spying by who has which information. Ooh. Okay, so I didn't find the deposit I was looking for, but I found another one. Well, that's one way to deal with it. And I discovered something by mining some ore. That's interesting. So even though I didn't find the ore deposit I was looking for, see, I had just left somewhere. I had left there and started going that way, so I'll jump to here. Haha, well then y'all are gonna declare war on everybody else. But we didn't. Too bad. Yup. Yup. Although, strangely enough, I associate that particular saying with Christopher Walken and one of his guest spots on Saturday Night Live. Okay, I want to stay outside the ruins here, which are over here to the left. And then go from the entrance there, kind of back toward the mine, maybe? That way? And then maybe we'll find that ore deposit that I went back home for the pickaxe for in the first place. He's hilarious. I mean, he's got a very distinct voice. The guy definitely has skill as an actor. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Shatner in the way he has those unusual pauses in weird places. But his is so much... Yeah, that could be it. I know Walken was incredible on... Oh, what movie was that? Dead Zone. He was great on the Dead Zone. Can't remember if I had crossed that or not when I found the ore deposit. Okay, so we're back to where the goat was. Granted, every time I think of William Shatner, I think of the the joke brought up regarding him on, what was it? The Twilight Zone movie. Oh my God, there's something on the wing. I have not, but I will definitely take a look at it. That sounds hilarious. Okay, I have no idea what happened to that ore deposit, which sucks because kind of needed. But okay, where are we as far as the map goes? Okay, it should be a little further south than that, if I'm remembering correctly. We've been, well, I've been watching a lot of Haven lately. I don't know if you ever got into that show at all. It's, oh yeah, sorry. Haven is based on the Dark Tower. There you go. But not only that, Haven ties the Colorado Kid story directly to the Dark Tower as well, which is kind of a trip. Oh. Where? Is it over here, maybe? Just remember there being this large, flat area with a bunch of ore attached. No worries. Do you have the right one? I can go ahead and give you another permission there. This looks closer. Okay, so it should be somewhere right around here, I think. At least I'm hoping. Kind of funny that I ran home in order to grab the pickaxe just to mine this one bit of ore, and now I can't find it. Whoa. Why is that not marked on my map? Okay, 1 second. Also, I'm probably going to need to take a short break here to grab some more coffee real quick and take care of a couple of things. Found it! Yay! That was kind of bugging me. The whole point being, I will definitely take a look. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of let this... Oh, already done? That seemed like a much bigger vein of ore to me. Okay, let me Where was that ruin that... Okay, there it is. I'm gonna run down here real quick. Because that thing is not on the map, if you notice. And with it just sitting here, I mean, I know it's supposed to be the grave of a dragon or something, but whoa, man, I guess I am Vax, 'cause I almost walked right into that skeleton and he didn't see a thing. What a trip. Huh. Dagger, dagger, dagger. I know the other one that does an incredible Chris Walken impression is Kevin Pollak. But then he also does an amazing Christopher Lloyd impression as well. Like there's a concert that he had done, stand-up concert, where he had redone the crew of the Enterprise as a bunch of various famous people, including like switching Scotty out for Christopher Walken. Or not Christopher Walken, switching Scotty out for Christopher Lloyd. Chris Walken was Spock. A few other ones. And then he had Shatner as Kirk, trying to figure out what the heck was going on. You know, I don't remember it ever coming up, but now that has been mentioned, are you much of a Star Trek fan, Swift? 'Cause whether you are or not, there is an incredible performance that was done due to the fact that... Who was it? Due to the fact that despite how long Star Trek Next Generation had lasted, not to mention all the other series, Leonard Nimoy and John Delancey, who played Q, had never interacted on the show. Q and Spock never met. So they started thinking, you know what? It would be really, really cool to have Spock and Q actually meet for a change. And what would that be like? So that's what they ended up doing, and they wrote a script, and they performed it, I believe, at Comic-Con. It was, I was, my grandfather was a huge Star Trek fan, and he had gotten me into it a little bit with some of the original series, but it was, Next Generation that really, I guess, clicked with me. Okay, we've got all that stuff picked up. And We still have stuff at the other house we gotta do. But for the most part, we've got a good start going here. Need the book, because that's why we have the library at the other house. And this way I can store all the stuff from this house at the other house, and everything is where it's supposed to be. At least until I move all the food here. I don't either. I have no issue with Star Trek versus Star Wars because of the fact that, if you really think about it, Star Wars is not science fiction. If you watch through the movies up until episode 1, there is no mention of anything science in Star Wars. It is strictly a fiction story that happens to be in space. Or a fantasy story that happens to be in space. It has far more in common with fairy tales. Yeah, out of the original series and film, I would have to say my favorite was Star Trek 4, which was... See, I'm gonna... This is stupid as hell, but I'm gonna go see if I can take on some Daedra. My favorite of the originals was Star Trek 4, which I believe was... directed by Nimoy? Could be wrong. Oh, I don't have the key yet. Never mind. Yeah. Wrath of Khan was Star Trek 2. Star Trek 3 was Search for Spock. And it's kind of interesting how much of those... how much of the reboot still tried to hold on to a lot of those aspects. In terms of the second Star Trek movie having Khan in it, and it just being a variation on the original story told, but since they had altered the timeline itself, being able to still work it in. They killed... Dag nabbit. That wasn't my fault.
So, it was my sister. We recently heard
she'd been killed.
I find it difficult to talk about.
Huh.
Anyway, I'm glad my work at the Blackbriar Meadery keeps me busy. Helps me keep my mind off of things.
Hello, Miss Adika. Welcome. Now that's freaking awesome.
It was my sister.
I saw Empire in the theater.
If you're looking for anything to sell for a fair price, I run the Pond Prawn over by the market.
I'll take those. Wait. Balaman's dead? Then where's the body? Gotta take the cabbages. For pie. And Foster, of course. Oh, there he is. Well... that's one thing I won't be able to do much of. However, I guess that means it's just the apprentice in here now. Oh, no, already cleared it out. Is that a dagger? No. Nope, no daggers. Well, that's unfortunate. I just got here in order to get that to Balamond, and
Yes?
what are you doing? Huh.
Never should come here.
I've been caught by a thief pickpocketing?
Ah, that it? That your best?
Hey, y'all missed. I'll take all his stuff anyway.
Think about it.
Wow. Well, for me, it was always, well, Boba Fett. So, the Jedi and all, just kind of not my style. But that's me. What can I afford to drop here? That works for me. Okay, so that took care of that little, yeah, Boba got way more in the books than he ever got in the films. And I'm kind of glad for that. I'm just I don't like what Disney has done uh to the whole Mandalorian culture. I mean, first of all, taking Boba and Jango and saying, okay, they're not even Mandalorians anymore. That was just wrong. And a lot of the stuff that has come up for the Mandalorian since is just Disney trying to find some poor way of ripping off Game of Thrones. At least that's what it seems like to me. Yeah, Kyle Kyle was Rogue One. Sorry, Disney. No matter what you say, it was Kyle Katarn who was Rogue One. Yep. Never mind the fact that the Mandalorian culture doesn't rely on just Jango and Boba. There are a lot more than just them. Though I would have loved a chance to have gotten, if they would have shown what caused Jango to be chosen in the first place, which was he had been framed for a massacre on some planet by the Death Watch, which Disney seems to have turned into heroes, which I don't see why. Technically, the Mandalorians were from even before that. They go back to the original Jedi and Sith Wars, 4,000 years before A New Hope, at least according to what I had read. And Jango had been framed for a massacre and arrested, and when taken before the Jedi Council, and the Jedi couldn't tell the truth from falsehood, he realized that the powers the Jedi and the Sith have don't make them any better than anybody else, but they like to try and control everybody else. And in order to save his own life, Jango then killed all but 3 of the Jedi High Council with nothing but his bare hands, because they'd stripped him of all of his weapons. And that was why Count Dooku had picked him to be Yes, Zahn is absolutely incredible as far as his work. And the stories that followed along after those, particularly the Mandalorian tales that they entirely blew off. Was just wrong, at least in my opinion. Because Jaina, having, when her brother fell to the dark side, spoilers, she had to go learn how to kill Jedi. And the only person who could teach her was Boba Fett. So it was Han Solo's daughter learning from Boba the techniques designed to kill Jedi, because Mandalorians don't believe that the, at least most recent lore regarding Mandalorians is that they don't follow either the Sith or the Jedi. They think both sides are wrong, and that people should be left alone. Yeah, I loved playing as Kyle. Jedi Outcast is probably one of my favorite games, and I have it on this computer, but for some reason it won't let me play it at all. I would love to stream that. Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy. Yeah. But yeah, the more I learned about Mandalorians, it just seemed more fitting to me. It's more about family and defense and education. And then you have those who get interested in Mandalorians because of the Death Watch, which just honestly chaps my hide. Because Disney should not be venerating terrorists. Because that's all Death Watch was. Is a bunch of terrorists who would target their own family and their own people. And not for any kind of any real political thing. It was just the fact of, Well, we think we should be fighting everything all the time. So, because of that, we're just gonna take out anybody who disagrees with us. Even if they are members of our own family. And Disney is sitting there saying, oh, these are the cool guys. These are the ones you should listen to. Yup. But I mean, part of the problem with the Sith is the fact that even though their focus is on power, gaining as much power as they can, and power above all, their biggest problem is the fact that the Force comes from life, and the Sith take life, thus removing the very power they are seeking. Yeah, it was. Oh, hell yeah, it was. Yeah, but it also comes from... the energy field comes from life. It's that life energy and tapping into that, at least going according to Yoda and a few others. Granted, I don't, like the Mandalorians, I don't think either the Sith or the Jedi have any real clue what the heck's going on, and they just assume that we have this power, so we need to use it to make people do what we want them to do. What we choose the laws to be. And when they started getting to the point of, well, whoever happens to be in charge of the law, that's whose law we need to enforce, that also changes. Yeah, I just have issues with... Dagnabbit. That mentality of us versus them, and the best defense is a good offense. Well, technically, that only counts in certain situations. When it comes to defending your family, if everybody was focused on defending themselves and their families, no one would have time to attack other people. Because they'd be too busy defending. At least that's my view. And kind of part of the basis of our particular clan. Yup. And I figure the best way to defend is to take a look at things and consider how those views and actions might affect not just how people see you, but how people see your family. And when I say family, I don't necessarily mean relatives, because, well, Mandalorians are very adoption-oriented, for one thing. That, and I very much agree with the quote from the Dresden Files. I don't care whose DNA recombined with whose. Those who stand by your side when the shit hits the fan, that's your family. I know something sees me, and it's probably a bear from the sound of it. Oh, maybe not. Can I help you?
Are they gone? Bandits attacked and ransacked my cart. Can you help? My camp is nearby in the ruins of Nilheim. Get me there safely? and you'll be rewarded.
I could do that. Yeah, that's very true too. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break, get some things done, and we will be right back. However, in about an hour, Critical Role will be starting their Talks Machina, so we will be off air by 9 o'clock, no matter what. In the meantime, give me just 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, and I'll be right back. They've walked you through Horizon Zero Dawn, through The Last of Us, and through For Honor. This summer, one man, one horde, one motorcycle, many, many locations, with an open world map and one very large arsenal. When the dust settles at the end of the day, who will remain standing? Will it be Deacon St. John? Or those he stands against? Find out for yourself at twitch.tv/wildwolfgaming1. Stay wild, everyone. In the video game streaming system, the viewers are represented by two distinct groups: the gamers who provide walkthroughs and compete for wins, and the entertainers who provide nonsense and fun. These are the games of the Insomnia Squad. Doink Doink by Mike Post. Come to twitch.tv/awolvesdengames and click the follow button. That way you will be notified for further games by the Insomnia Squad. Welcome back, folks. Sorry if I was a little longer than expected, but I think that was about the right amount of time. That's the other thing we were looking for. So I'll help him get to where he needs to go.
Just across the bridge and up that hill.
We're close now. I can see the camp.
Yes.
What now? Until next time.
Whoops, I didn't mean to take the tankard. Where'd what's his name go?
Wait here. I'll be right back. Ward. Looks like we've got a... Never should have come here.
You picked a bad time to get
What? What the heck? That wasn't very nice of them. Yeah, there were also, let's see. There was also, who was it? A lot of the, Mandalorian, or a lot of the, not all the Jedi were, oh, crap.
this one need something?
Okay, so I need to take them out a little bit before that. But there were some of the Jedi Masters who the clones hadn't turned on. And I know that they had ended up doing some things. Oh yeah, we're just still kind of randomly wandering, aren't we? I'll deal with that guy a bit later then. For the most part, we're just kind of wandering around and exploring, getting things together. For any who are joining us, whether on Facebook or YouTube or right here on Twitch, we are mostly here just for a little bit of entertainment and exploration, bit of chat, that kind of thing. Our main focus at A Wolf's Den Games is tabletop, so there is that. But we also like just kind of hanging out and chatting. And I haven't actually played any of the Knights of the Old Republic stuff. The old Jedi Knight games, which I believe are actually a part of the Dark Forces series, was about as far as I had gotten. And then Republic Commando, because, well, I can't not play something with Mandalorians in it. If I can help it. But when finances tend to be a bit of a struggle, that can also make it a little more difficult for being able to pick up some of the games out there and give them a shot. No, unfortunately, I never got much of a chance with that one yet. I do hope to eventually get back to it. Well, there's another one. It's kind of funny how much of this stuff I just end up picking up. You know what? Why don't we see what's down here? 'Cause why not? Ah. Headphones started falling off my head. That would be cool. I know that I am on a Discord for a lot of the more well, there's a Discord out there for that a lot of the clans seem to have connected to, but they also have a bunch of Star Wars fans and just fans of Mandalorians on there as well. The other interesting thing about Mandalorians is that while with Klingon is an actual race that requires actual, like, blood and whatnot in order to be a Klingon, not just being able to speak the language. While with Mandalorian, because that is a culture of adoption and that sort of thing. Oh, I know what quest this is.
Come to enjoy the sights and sounds of this beautiful sanctuary as I have?
But I know that unlike the other ones, Mandalorians can actually have that whole adoption and yeah, the movies never really did them justice, to be completely honest. Your dagger doesn't really do much, lady. I'll take it all anyway. Yeah, with the amount of time I've spent studying Mandalorians and the culture and the language, kind of have our own views regarding philosophy and whatnot that comes from connecting Mandalorian culture with some parkour mentality, a little bit of Zen. While a game like this does kind of allow me to just do whatever, there are concepts of honor and whatnot that I do have strong beliefs in, and that does kind of color how our clan views things. As far my personal philosophy and that kind of thing, that's mostly just well, humans are humans, and we should all just really treat each other like it. We spend a lot of time looking for things to separate and divide us when we should be spending more time looking at the things we have in common. Heavy focus on education, on defense, on family, because the Mandalorian culture is based on 6 tenets, which are essentially family, defense, education, armor, language, and well, it's very much a way of life. It's kind of to me, Mandalorians seem very much the way Native Americans, the Native American culture, that nomadic warrior approach is seems to me very much Native American. It has an understanding and belief that life is important. And why can I not get past this? Does it just not want me to? Weird. Yes, in fact, if I remember correctly, the writer who gave the most, who came up with a lot of the information regarding the Mandalorian culture. Oh wait, I know what I'm doing wrong. Oh, I don't have that dagger for it, do I? I don't think I do. We'll skip that part for now. That was a big influence on the Mandalorian culture itself, along with some other groups. I know that with our personal editions, we are far more our particular clan is far more focused on support and defense and taking care of each other, while also still having a focus on defense, and not just personal defense, but also being able to defend your views, yourself, your family, and your home from whatever threat might come your way, whether it be physical, political, philosophical, that kind of thing. And our main focus is building people up rather than tearing them down, because those who are unable to defend themselves deserve someone who is willing to step up and help when they can and where they can. And as a people, Mandalorians tend to view at least fellow Mandalorians that way. Our particular clan's view is, since Mandalorians become Mandalorians by adoption, not by birth, everybody is capable of becoming a Mandalorian without any real issue. And as such, shouldn't everybody have the option to make that choice on their own? To decide, yeah, this is the kind of thing that I find I need in my life. And if not, well, that's fine. As long as you're not coming after us. From my studies of a lot of Native American cultures, it seems the same. It seems very similar as well. Burn, cat, burn. Wow, that was pretty powerful. Having to drop more stuff then. That plate's a little heavy. Don't really need the goat hide. But yeah, mainly I figured life is enough of a struggle. And that's something that Mandalorians do hold in high regard, the understanding that life is a struggle, and it takes it can take a lot in order to make sure that we can survive from just day in and day out. And as such, I see no need to make it more difficult for anybody for their daily struggle. It's better to defend and protect each other than it is to find some excuse to attack somebody else. Because, I don't know, there's enough illusions and lies out there to separate us as human beings, and that makes things more difficult for everybody in the long run. And when I say illusions, I mean things like, for example, borders. Borders are arbitrary, invisible lines. And yet, we tend to cause troubles because of some group that happens to be behind some arbitrary, invisible line. Meanwhile, if you really think about it, it's the people in charge of those countries that are the problem, not the people, because they just want to live. They just want to get through another day, alive. But that's me. Yep. And let's see, another great one is the whole race illusion. I'm sorry, if you're from Earth, your race is human. Because the human race is the only race on the planet. The genetic predisposition toward the production of melanin within the epidermis, that's just genetics and has nothing to do with race. Now, if you go to Skyrim or Dungeons and Dragons, well then you start throwing in elves and orcs and that kind of thing, and yeah, you've got other races. That, not that that is an excuse for racism, because I don't think it is, but I think we should probably stop altering definitions just to give us more reasons to hate, attack, and destroy each other for literally no reason whatsoever. All three of them. That was kind of funny. I got all three before they had a chance to even get an attack in. I like that. Those can go. Yup. I figure if we spend more time trying to understand each other, then maybe we'll have less of these issues and we'll have more cooperation among people. Because, wait, what did I grab? Everything? Everything. Whoops. If we understand each other, we have more of a reason to be cooperative with each other. And if we start ditching more of the... Whoops. If we start ditching more of the lies and concepts told to us, and little more focus on friendly competition rather than the toxic stuff, we've got a better chance of surviving to whenever. Exactly. Baby steps. Baby steps onto the elevator. Baby steps onto the elevator. Ah! I figure, well, we've got a good clan. Our little Mandalorian clan, which is who runs this particular company. It is entirely family run. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only way we can truly understand is by taking the time to actually do so. They only got one hit on me, despite all the spinning and... Don't really need the Dwarven Sword. I wish I could take your armor, dude. Because I would have taken the armor. We're a bit non-traditional as far as Mandalorian clans go, but we do have our particular take on the tenets, and I think at last count we were 13 strong. And again, that's through the whole adoption concept, Mandalorian law rather than, well, US law. That could be cool, but currently we are so far behind on everything. It's a bit of a... Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of the desert during summer. The Mojave was rough enough for that. Though, that was a really cool trip that I had taken. We had gone down, let's see, through Yosemite and down toward Bakersfield. Due to, well, wanting to put a plaque up at my father's crash site where he had died, or at least as close to that as we could get. During that trip, I was able to watch a couple of Top Gun pilots actually dogfighting over the desert, which, yes, is exactly as cool as you would think. Tongue got a little tongue-tied there. Which then reminds me of Red Dwarf, as that is the name of a song from that show. Here we are, just kind of... No, my father was down south toward Bakersfield in California. He was there with the Air Force on some sort of training mission, and unfortunately he didn't make it. According to the report, he was thrown from the helicopter. Okay. I'll check this out. Might as well. Yeah. So we had gone down there for that. Actually, that trip inspired a ghost town for my campaign setting. So that will be making an appearance. Yes, I know I probably shouldn't just be grabbing all this stuff despite everything, but I have no idea what's in here. I don't think I've ever been here before. Yeah, I was 8 when it happened, but there's only so much you can do. Mercy? I don't think so. Not when you're a bandit. Still just creeping my way through. Taking your dagger. Dagger, dagger, dagger. What the... Yeah, that's why I don't usually do the headshots. 'Cause that one went right over her head, and I was like, wait, what? Still not weighing too much. That's a plus. Okay. I will definitely keep that in mind. Ooh, I did not know about that. Right in the butt. Yeah. I know that it got pretty well, extremely warm in in the Mojave when we were there. There we go. And now I got a whole chest I got to deal with too. Got to take those. I'm talking more 95 to 110 Fahrenheit during the day. Really cold at night. Oh, I ate one more of those cabbages than I intended to. Yeah, it got way up there. Still way too much. Yeah. Mostly because there's nothing to keep hold of that heat. The sand soaks it up during the day, or reflects it during the day rather than absorbing it. At least from what I've noticed. I don't need candlesticks. That can go. Is that enough? Not quite. I've watched the first Dune movie a couple of times. Uh, I have to admit, I was a little confused on some of it. I need to go back and watch them again. I know that for sure. Let's see what's around here. Yeah, I know that Mike over on the mana pool had brought that up a few times as well. Okay, that was way faster than I expected. Moonstone? We may have to come back for that. Nope, too far. Oh, we're getting close to critical roll time here, folks. Which means we will need to be calling this before too much longer. Apparently I left my phone in the other room. Huh. So we've got spots for Moonstone. Doesn't look like there's a way up there, but maybe there is. Hang on. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, that's not going to let us up there. So we've got some Moonstone ore here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Okay. Yeah, I figured that must be where I've heard it before. I can hear the Critical Role theme playing in the other room. So talks will be starting before too much longer. About 10 minutes. So I think we'll grab the rest of this Moonstone. We'll get outside. We'll run back to the house real quick so we can get a decent save in. And we'll go from there. I will be headed over to CR there in just a few minutes. I want to make sure I get back to the house and get a decent end save and get that number in case anybody happens to be following along with our save numbers. As far as Insomnia Squad tonight, there may be one. It depends on how things are going. I haven't quite decided if we'll be playing this or Borderlands. Friday we will be starting our Fallout New Vegas run. Tomorrow will be our usual Wild Wednesdays with Miss Adika and some Hearthstone. At least that's the plan. Unless something comes up like happened last time. Which we can't always control those folks, unfortunately. Much as we'd like to. But I will do a quick fast travel to the new house, or the newest house, now that things are actually filling in there. We'll grab ourselves a seat, take off the mask, get our usual closing remarks dealt with, and then we'll head on over to twitch.tv/Critical Role. Did it bring my horse back? Apparently not. So, apparently my horse died. And yet, I can't find the body anywhere. I'm moving way too slow. How far off are we? 6? Almost there. Trying to get this finished up so we can jump over to Critical Role here. Talks Machina will be starting within the next few minutes. They will be doing an airing of the San Diego Comic-Con panel that they did this past weekend. Either on Talks Machina or in place of Talks Machina. In the meantime, we are grabbing a seat, grabbing our save point here real quick after we... Let's get that mask off there. Spin this around like usual. Can't really get a good look at our... There we go. That's a little better. We'll grab our save here real quick. For those following along, this will be number 239. And we will see about coming back to this later tonight after Talks Machina and we get some work done here, that kind of thing. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you, Swift, for the conversation. That definitely helped things go a little more smoothly, at least to me. I certainly had more fun being able to actually talk with people. In the meantime, thank you all for peeking in. If you can, please give us a follow at twitch.tv/wolvesdengames. That can help us definitely upgrade what we have available and what we're capable of. We are working mostly on tabletop games and accessories, but we do some digital entertainment. In the meantime, I will go ahead and call this here, and until either later tonight, tomorrow, or whenever the next time may be, have a wonderful night, folks. Bye for now. Thank you all for joining us. Please give us a follow on twitch.tv/wolvesdengames. Long days and pleasant nights. Jate ka nade, or good night, everyone.